How's it going this week, Scal? I know you're excited to be back in Atlanta.
Oh, my God. And not only that, I decided to go day of. I missed my flight by 2 minutes. I got stuck in coach middle seat. I'm in an Uber right now. Like you can't imagine. Like, you couldn't make it up. You couldn't make it up.
So
and you know what happened?
Hang on.
How
tall are you?
6'9", I know.
And you're in the middle. You're in the middle seat.
Jesus.
I had a nice one. You know, NBC always takes care of me. But then when you miss a flight, you just got to get put on the next one. And you know what caused me to miss it?
No.
I was doing my show this morning, and Michael Rappaport called in.
Uh-huh.
And he called in lecturing me about the Bucks, and he went on and on. I was supposed to be out of there at 9:10. Get out a little early. He went on until 9:15, and that is the reason why I missed my flight. Can you believe it?
Man, Michael Rappaport, you guys were Spider-Man naming each other. So that's what was going on. So okay, so you're in an Uber right now?
Yeah, in an Uber. I apologize for the Uber because I know this call is not going to be a pleasant one.
Well, what? So what? How's it going down in Atlanta? Like, are people? You can ask the Uber driver. Like, what are people saying? I know you just got there, but what are people saying? Do they think the Hawks have a real chance?
I mean, I think they kind of think the same way. I mean, we all have it in the back of our minds, like, how could the Celtics do that in Game 5? And so, I mean, listen, Trae Young has been the best player in the series, I guess you want to say, since the last 2 games. And his numbers, like, he's responsible for more points than any other player in the NBA, even more than Jimmy Butler when you add up the assists. So it's percentage of points. So it's really his performance has been amazing, which has me a little bit more down on myself because I always think the best player in the series has got to be Tatum, and it could be Brown on any given night, but I don't want the other guy outplaying those 2 guys. And part of the reason why I thought, Milwaukee was going to be good is because of Giannis, man, like what we've seen him do. But you got to be the best player on the floor. Tatum and Brown, that one way or another, those guys got to be the best player on the floor tonight.
So, Scal, you brought up Tatum. How do you explain some of his struggles in this series? I'm thinking primarily of Game 5.
Well, I don't care how he plays up until, like, I had no problem, like, him being aggressive. I don't care about, like, missing shots. Like, it's part of it. Like, I liked his aggressiveness. I liked his playmaking. The only thing I just thought he was on his heels the last 7 minutes, which is not like I don't really think it's going to be a thing in this series. It could be, but I don't think it is. But I'm like, I thought that thing was behind us. I thought we addressed that. I thought that you guys, talked about it and how that loss stung you. You have to grow from those things. Like in the NBA, my dealings with NBA players, those guys handle failure so much better than they handle success. Like that's typically the way, like guys really do perform with their back against the wall. Like that's like a thing for NBA players to like perform when the stakes are against you. And that's like how most of the guys got here from a young age all the way on. But I was really surprised. I get the meltdown last year. We can blame the wrist or whatever you want to blame. Like the too many games you played the Bucks, you should have put them out. The Miami Heat grueling series, whatever you want to say, right? But I was really shocked that the Celtics in general, in particular, Tatum and Brown, were playing on their heels, I would say, the last 6.5 minutes of that game.
Scal, do you blame Marcus Smart for some of the plays he made at the end of that game, or do you blame Joe Mazzulla for leaving him out there in favor of, or in lieu of, I'd say, Malcolm Brogdon? Who do you think should shoulder more of that?
I don't really do the blame game. I don't. So I don't, I just, that's not how the way I roll. I never rolled that way. So I just think I always look at my best players, and the best players got to live up to, being the best players, because if you're going to win a championship, your best players got to deliver. So I know. It's been a real big thing. I was on the show with Phil Perry the other day, and he was playing. It's like who to blame. I don't really do that in my life either. I don't sit there like when I missed a flight and be like, my wife, my kids. I do blame Michael Rappaport.
I was going to say Michael Rappaport. Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's on me. It's on me. Like, I'm the one that I went all the way to the end. I could have left the phone. It's like everything to me falls on, I take responsibility. So I don't. It's really weird for me and I get it. That's what sports talk radio is. Someone was asking me today about the Milwaukee meltdown. Like, I don't blame, it's Budenholzer's fault. Budenholzer didn't have a great day. Holiday didn't have a great day. Like, I think the best players got to perform in these moments. That's why they make the money that they make. It's not, as we're starting to find out, it's not for the regular season. Like, people don't even care about the regular season. Look at the Lakers, the Warriors, now the Miami Heat. It's the best players give you a chance to win. Those guys gotta perform. And I don't feel like I'm blaming those guys. I just think like the expectations are that you got to deliver. Not like I don't understand why Tatum played on his heels. I don't understand why Jaylen Brown played on his heels. That's not like it's not their fault. It's like a team thing. But those guys got to figure it out. That's for sure.
All right, let me ask it this way then: is Marcus Smart still the best player to be out there closing these games?
I never like in the Atlanta series. I think going more defense is a little overrated. I would probably lean more towards offense. But I like Marcus Smart at the end of games. I know if we had the Philadelphia 76ers and I had Marcus Smart get switched off on a big, and I knew he could keep that guy off the glass. And I didn't think that I thought Trae Young cut Marcus Smart off on that particular foul. But I know he's getting a lot of heat right now. But it's like once again, like why are we going down the totem pole on this one? I thought he could have played better, but I thought a lot of guys could have played better.
Scal, refresh my memory. You had the Bucks as the one team that could beat the Celtics. Maybe you even said the Bucks would beat the Celtics. Did you say? Did you actually say that?
No,
Bucks?
no, that's not. I didn't say it like
okay,
that.
So I
can tell you how I said it because I don't know if you remember, but I remember.
Okay.
Mego said if Rob Williams doesn't play, will the Bucks win?
Got it.
I was like, man, that's going to be tough. Really tough. So that's how the question was asked to me.
Okay, so I genuinely couldn't remember. So you had Celtics over Bucks. Now the Bucks are out. Is there any excuse if the Celtics don't? I mean, I'm going to say at least get to a final, but win a champ. They have to win a championship, don't they? It feels wide open.
I mean, yes. Like at this point, like I hate to like. There's no rosters that compare. I'm sorry, like no one has this amount of talent, defensive versatility, offensive versatility, rebounding. Like when you check every box, they have every box. So at this point, it is overwhelming how much better they are than the rest of the NBA. I really believe that. So it's with the Bucks out. I mean, I've kind of always thought that Giannis is the kind of guy that can will you, and Holiday is the guy that can will you. Clearly, they can't. They were clearly outplayed in that Miami series, but no. I mean, at this point, like you cannot compare any rosters available to this Boston Celtics team from the things that matter in the playoffs.
So, Scal, a couple minutes ago, you mentioned trying to learn the lessons from last year of extending these series that maybe didn't need to be extended, thinking primarily of Miami, but also Milwaukee last year. Sure. And now we're seeing it again with the Hawks, in my opinion. So what is it going to take for this Celtics team to get that lesson through, to just, wrap it up, to just finish out these fourth quarters now that you're in the playoffs? Yeah,
so that's, once again, to me, that falls on your two best players. And it's great. Like those other guys can make big moments. They had big moments. White was great, like Brogdon too. But like to close out a team, I'll just tell you when I remember playing. I've been to 4 finals. It was always Jason Kidd, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen. It was like those guys sending us to that next level. That's just the way it goes. Go back to the epic Game 7, LeBron versus Paul Pierce. Like those two guys, the best players. The duel between Dominique and Larry Bird. Like those guys were the best players. They're the ones that carry you. Michael Jordan, like wherever you want to go, Stockton Malone. That's how the NBA works. So those guys got to wake up and say, like, I am going to will this team. I'm going to wake up, and when I get to this point, I can't. Not. Oh my God, here we go again. A lot of the articles that were written were, here we go again. No, man, I can't wait to be in that situation where I could put the team on my back and show the world that, like, we are not that anymore. And I mean, I see Jason Tatum on every commercial. I turn on TV, bam, he's on the Ruffles, he's on this, he's on that. Like, there's a reason for that. The world thinks you are good. You got to go out there in the last 6 minutes of a game and do it. And I would say that I hold Brown to that same standard. Both those guys are. I don't look at them as 1-2. It's like 1A and 1B. Like they're both elite and can completely will a game. That's what the best players do.
So I agree with that 1,000%. That's a quiet Uber. Whatever this Uber driver's doing. This
5 stars.
This Uber driver's doing a great work. That's a quiet Uber. You
Nice
guys.
acoustics, too.
The Uber driver's been good to me. I'm giving him a nice tip.
Okay, good.
He's got to be annoyed by this one-way conversation too.
He's probably who knows what he's talking to you about. Whatever's going on in Atlanta down there, Centennial Park or whatever. What
He's calling all his friends saying, "Hey, Michael Rappaport's in my Uber."
what do you think your Uber rating is? You got a good Uber rating?
I think it's 4.8. You know
Wow.
why? Because sometimes I call the Uber. It's a little bit too early, and like the airport. You know how it is now.
Keep waiting.
Walk here, walk there, walk there, walk there, walk
Yep.
through this garage, go up, go
Yep,
down,
yep.
all that. And I don't get there on time all the time, but it's 4.8.
Okay, 4.8. A little bit of breaking news here on Jones and Mego with Arcand. Scal, we appreciate the time. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, sounds good. See ya.
All right, Brian Scalabrine, as all our guests, joins us on the Harbor One Hotline.
What do you